Let's continue with the second type, that is collenchyma. In the case of collenchyma, as we have done, the structure of the cell, its wall is thick and elongated and have tapering ends. Tapering end means, for example, this is a cell and its end can be like sharp. Sharp ended means tapering ends. Sharp ends. Ends can be, ends are these. The ends are sharp, and there are no intercellular spaces between the cells. As we have done in this case, there are intercellular spaces, but in this case there are no intercellular spaces. And there is a presence of the substance which is deposited between the cells. Between the cells there is a one substance which is present, that is known as pectin. And now come to the function of the collenchyma. It helps to provide the support and flexibility, but it is not present in the roots. It is not present in the roots. So here we have done its structure, its location. Location means it is not present in the roots, but is present in the stem and petiole. Stem and petiole of leaves. What is petiole? As we have done in the previous class, chapter of leaf, the stalk of the leaf. This is known as petiole. Now the last type of simple permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. It is made up of dead cells. It is made up of dead cells, and there are no intercellular spaces like the collenchyma, and the cells are pointed with pointed ends. And here there is a presence of pectin substance, but here it is the substance that is lignin. What its function? It helps to make the cells strong and resistant to composition. Resistant to composition mean it helps to make the plant cell strong and there is no breaking of cells. Means it helps to plant to keep away from the decomposition. So now its function is provide strength to the plant body. So this is all about the permanent tissue. So first type, that is a simple permanent tissue. Now next one, last, complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue is of two types, xylem and phloem. These are two types of complex permanent tissue. So these are also known as vascular tissues, conducting tissues. So these various names of the different names of the xylem and phloems you have to understand. Collectively it is known as vascular tissue, conducting tissue, transporting tissue. In the exam they can ask, name the vascular tissue, name the conducting tissue, name the transporting tissue. So you will write the answer xylem and phloem. So now come to the xylem. As we know that it is a type of complex permanent tissue, it transport water and minerals. This is the key term in case of xylem. What it conducts? It conducts water and mineral from the roots to the various parts of the plant. This is the function. Now its structure. It is made up of dead cells. Mostly it is made up of dead cells. And these are tracheids or vessels. So these are the cells which are present in the xylem, vessels and tracheids. These are elongated, thick, lignified cells. Lignified again means it covers with the help of lignin substance. So it runs throughout the center of the stem. For example, this is a stem and it is present in the center of the stem. So I think it's clear to you its main function, its structure, and its vessels and tracheids. These are the components which are present in the xylem. Now next is the phloem. Phloem. When you speak the word phloem, it gives the sound of F. Yes or no? Phloem gives the sound of F. So from this F you have to learn that phloem carry food. And from which part of the plant it carry food? From the leaves, because leaves helps to prepare the food. It means you have to learn leaves carry food and phloem carry food from the leaves and transported to the various parts of the body. So here phloem consists of two cells, sieve cells and companion cells. Sieve cells and companion cell. So this you have to learn with the help of this diagram. So this is the structure of, the first one is of xylem vessels. It is present in the center of the stem. Phloem. You can see when a step is cut longitudinally means when lengthwise the stem is cut. This is a sieve plate. These cells are known as sieve cells and it forms a plate-like structure. This is called sieve plate, and these are sieve tubes. And the last one is the companion cells. These are the companion cells. So it is all about the permanent tissue, that is two types, simple and complex. So here students, you have to learn the function of sieve cells. As you know that sieve cells are elongated cells. These cells are joined end to end. Means one end is joined with another and another is joined with another end and so on. And there is a presence of pores between the cells. And what is the function of these pores? It helps to pass the food from one cell to the another cell, like this. For example, this is a cell, sieve cells, and food is present in this, and further it moves into the next cells, then one cell provide to the next, and so on. In this way cell to cell transportation of food takes place. So this is all about the types of plant tissue. In the next video we will discuss about the animal tissue. So before doing that, I'll tell you there is a flow chart in your book. This is about the plant tissue, meristematic, permanent. So this flow chart you have to read because it will be very easy for you when you will learn the different types of plant tissue. And moreover, these diagrams we have done, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. These diagram you have to draw in your fair notebook. In the same way, this diagram, figure 1.1, position of meristematic tissue in the shoe. So up to this we have done tissue and plant tissue. So in the next we will discuss about the animal tissue.